GPT, and it has its implication and all that. So our aim here on this platform is to demystify it and bring understanding to all of us. Okay, I wish to state that all our webinar series are available online. We have a YouTube channel. So if you are interested, you just type Information Technology Studies, UPSA, YouTube. You should see all the previous webinars, and you can have a look at them. Yeah, so thanks so much for joining us. And this is AI focus on the legal field. And I just want to remark that it's not meant just for the lawyers or students of law, but all of us, because it concerns administration of justice, which should be of interest to all of us. So when the Q&A sessions, I would expect that we all contribute and make whatever comments you want to make, so that we'll have a very fruitful time. Yeah, so you are all welcome, and I look forward to knowledge sharing and the impartation of understanding and all of that. So thanks for joining us. MC, back to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Emmanuel, also for your wonderful welcome address. We want to proceed to the rest of the program. We would like to have an introduction of our chairperson. We know it's very important that in a webinar such as this one, a chairperson who will spearhead the affairs to the very end. It is my singular honor to introduce to you Mrs. Dorcas Boateng, who also doubles as a secretary to the committee, the Tech Trends and Awareness Committee. She will do the honors of introducing the chairperson for today's program. Mrs. Dorcas.
Hello, yeah, good afternoon to you all.
Good afternoon.
All right, it's a great privilege to introduce our chair for this important webinar. For our chair today, we have Dr. Francisca Kusi-Appiah. She is a lecturer at the UPSA Law School and head of the Public Law Department. She holds a PhD from the Center for Energy, Petroleum and Mineral Law and Policy, University of Dundee, Scotland, UK. In addition to a master's degree with specialization in energy, environment, and natural resources law from University of Houston, Texas. Before joining academia, Dr. Kusi-Appiah had extensive experience working with law firms in Ghana and the United States as a qualified lawyer, and maintained an interest in using the law to advance sustainability and social causes. She maintains an active practice through legal consultancy. Among the range of courses taught over the years, Dr. Kusi-Appiah teaches energy law and the law of torts. Dr. Kusi-Appiah has written widely on different areas of law, such as Escaping the Resource Curse, A Decade of Petroleum Exploration in Ghana and Implication of Competition Law Enforcement in the Electricity Sector, a comparative analysis of UK and the US. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you our chair for today, Dr. Francis Kusi-Appiah. Let's welcome Dr. Francis Kusi-Appiah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to have been invited to chair the third Technology Trends and Awareness webinar series by the Department of Information Technology Studies of UPSA. Based on the theme, Artificial Intelligence for the Legal Field, an all-important topic. I would not attempt to even define artificial intelligence. Neither would I try to explain the different kinds of artificial intelligence. as I'll leave that to the experts who have been selected for today's webinar. But we would all agree that the fourth industrial revolution has resulted in the new era of doing things. We can sit in the comfort of our homes and order goods and services, make payments. Parents are equally given some sort of assurance through the use of different surveillance technologies that can monitor their children whilst these parents are even at work. AI facilitates teaching and learning. Of course, the most famous one being the ChatGPT. AI has been good in saving lives through better diagnosis, facilitating work, especially of engineers, and obviously helping in optimization in the use of our natural resources to meet our climate change obligations. We cannot mention the importance of AI without pointing to the financial benefits. Indeed, it's actually estimated that the African continent is likely to benefit from the use of AI to the tune of around $1.5 billion. But this does not mean that there are no risks associated with the use of AI, and because we are replacing AI with human discretion. And there's this growing fear that soon human beings may be outnumbered by robots, meaning loss of jobs. Now, this growing concern has resulted in the development of global policies on artificial intelligence. Now, if you look at the EU in 2021, they came out with their legal framework on artificial intelligence, which is meant to address the human and social risks associated with specific uses of AI in order to create some level of trust and to guarantee excellence and to boost investment and innovation. With the US, in fact, President Joe Biden this very month indicated that it is anticipated that the development of AI in the next 10 years in America would be more than the AI developed in the past 50 years. So this has also resulted in the development of what is known as AI Bill of Rights, which has been proposed to ensure safety in the development and use of AI systems. Of course, China, in terms of development of AI, it is a national strategic priority, as seen in curricular development and infrastructural development. When it comes to Africa, we are not as advanced as the other countries, but we are getting there with some countries such as Kenya, Tunisia, Botswana, South Africa, and Nigeria, leading the way in the use of AI and development of legal frameworks. In 2022, the African Union High-Level Panel on Emerging Technologies, known as the APEX, met and recommended that AI be the emerging technology which will be used to support the socio-economic development on the African continent. And therefore, they have also proposed what is known as a comprehensive African Union AI continental strategy that would protect data security and safeguard the development of AI through regulatory frameworks that would address stakeholder opportunities and challenges in the use of the AI. Obviously, AI interacts with law on different levels. The most common one, which most people know, is criminal law. Anyone who commits a crime or murder, we know the standard of proof, and then the sanctions also are portioned for that particular crime if you are found guilty. But what is the legal framework if murder is committed by a machine? Other jurisdictions have done it, but what do we have here? When you talk of labor law, AI has helped a lot to facilitate work. So in terms of work, if we have robots or machines working, in the event of any accident, who do we hold liable? Or in the event, let's even stretch it, that the AI slaps a human being, the legal implications. In terms of family law, AI is helping, but what is the legal framework should a robotic judge come to a decision and meaning the robotic judge will not have any emotions considering child custody cases. And obviously, when it comes to health, we have a lot of AI helping in terms of good diagnosis. In terms of medical negligence, what is the legal framework? Now, the advent of the COVID-19 pandemic actually hastened the introduction of AI in the legal field. So we had, especially when it comes to dispute resolution mechanisms. And the high cost of lawyers are also encouraging people to also use AI. So often than not, you have people actually resorting to the use of AI to generate legal documents without actually consulting lawyers. And the use of ChatGPT to write legal submissions is also on the rise. In fact, recently, we had an issue in the US where a lawyer was highly embarrassed after he used the ChatGPT to develop legal submissions. Unknown to him, the cases proposed were all fabricated cases by the AI. And in January of this year, in fact, we had a robo lawyer who was prepared to go to court, but due to threat of prosecution, could not go through. The robo lawyer was meant to go and defend a traffic ticket given to someone. But it would have been interesting to know how an issue of contempt of court would have been handled, and the raising of objections would have been dealt with. These circumstances, as I've indicated, are gradually creeping in and creating the fear of loss of legal jobs with the introduction of the AI in the field. So it is my hope that at the end of this particular webinar, our experts for today would enlighten us as to exactly what is artificial intelligence, created with the use of artificial intelligence, and of course, importantly, how to minimize risks associated with the use of AI in the legal field to ensure that rights are well protected and job loss is also minimized, because it's essential that the rights of people should not be adversely affected because we are using AI at the wrong time and at the wrong stage of the legal process. Thank you very much for your kind attention, and wish all of us a fruitful deliberation.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Chair, Dr. Francisca Kusi-Appiah, for those wonderful remarks. I believe that we all can agree that Doug has set the tone for this discussion to take place, especially from the statistics and the insightful instances that she mentioned. So I want to believe we are in for a very good time as far as the topic is concerned. I am waiting patiently to see what our resource persons would bring. So quickly, we'd like to introduce them. We'd like to introduce the discussants for today. And to do that for us is Dr. Chris Quist, the Department of IT, who is going to do the introduction of the panelists for us. Thank you. Dr. Chris.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Dr. MC. And with your permission, Madam Chair, I introduce two panel discussants for today's webinar on the topic Artificial Intelligence for the Legal Field. Our first panel discussant, Mr. Kweku Boadu, is a lecturer with the University of Ghana School of Law, who exceptionally combines a strong technology background and law and specializes in IT law. He was a practicing IT professional for over 20 years prior to becoming a lawyer. His zeal, leadership qualities, people skills, knowledge, and self-motivation are formidable. Kweku's formal education is in computer science, electrical and electronic engineering, and law. He is the lead designer and architect of the Ghana Bar Association's IT reform project, thus designing software for legal applications, training and application adaptation skills to increase system usage among lawyers. Kweku has had a very successful career as a practicing IT professional, leader and entrepreneur with specialty in nationwide secure IT infrastructure for both broadband and narrowband data transmission technologies. He invented the Javelin technology for connecting schools in poor infrastructure countries. He received the Tech Museum Technology Benefiting Humanity International Laureate Award in San Jose, California in 2006 for Javelin. He has supervised the development of large-scale secure Wi-Fi networks as a technology leader and was lead consultant for Ghana's Tema Paperless Port project. He is an excellent technology trainer with profound understanding of computer software and hardware, legal, policy, and regulatory issues of technology. His early years work experience were in Balco, Ghana, Kaiser Aluminium, USA, and Standard Chartered Bank, Africa. He has worked as a computer programmer in scientific applications and firmware development for real-time, online process control systems, man-machine interface, machine-machine interface, secure transmission, data communication networks, IT project management, and general IT leadership, and bring these qualities and skills and experience into contemporary issues of law and technology. Kweku is credited with an artificial intelligence algorithm using neural network for microcontroller-based automatic feed control in an aluminum reduction cell, published by the Journal of Metals in the USA in February 2010. His MPhil electrical engineering research culminated into his book on artificial intelligence titled Machine Learning in Aluminum Reduction, published in 2022. He has an LLM in IT law from the University of Edinburgh, UK, BL from the Ghana School of Law, Accra, Ghana, LLB from the University of Ghana, Legon, Accra, MPhil, Electrical and Electronic Engineering from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Kumasi, and then BSc in Computer Science from KNUST, Kumasi. His area of expertise is in IT law, and Mr. Kweku Boadu is a member of the Ghana Bar Association as well as the Ghana Institute of Engineers. That is our first panel discussant with a vast amount of experience. For our second panel discussant, we have Dr. Elias Ninoy Okwei, who is an accomplished individual with a solid educational background and extensive expertise in the field of computer science and technology. Driven by a deep passion for technology, he brings a wealth of knowledge, research experience, and practical skills to his work. He also strives to make significant contribution to the industry through his research, leadership, and innovative problem solving. Dr. Elias Ninoy Okwei completed his undergraduate studies in BSc Computer Science and Information Systems, where he gained a comprehensive understanding of programming languages, data structures, algorithms, and computer systems. He excelled in his studies, consistently demonstrating a keen intellect and a knack for solving complex problems. Eager to further expand his knowledge and skills, he pursued a Master of Science degree in IT technology, specializing in cloud computing and emerging technologies. Motivated by a desire to delve deeper into cutting-edge research and explore the practical implication of technology, Dr. Okoye embarked on a PhD journey in computer application technology. His doctoral research focused on transfer learning approach in speech emotion recognition using deep learning algorithms. Throughout his academic pursuits, he has consistently demonstrated a commitment to academic excellence and a passion for pushing the boundaries of knowledge in his field. Dr. Okoye has a diverse research portfolio covering various areas within computer application technology. His doctoral research significantly contributed to the development of transfer learning techniques to help predict emotions behind speeches. His work has been published in reputable peer-reviewed journals and presented at esteemed conferences, earning him recognition for his research contribution. With a broad understanding of emerging technologies, Dr. Okoye has explored research topics such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. His interdisciplinary approach allows him to bridge the gap between theory and practical applications, ensuring that his work has real-world relevance and impact. Dr. Okoye is a lecturer at the University of Professional Studies, Accra, with the Department of Information Technology, and as well a member of the Internet Society, Ghana chapter. Madam Chairperson, with your permission, the two panel discussants, Mr. Kweku Gwedu and Dr. Elias Noi Okoye. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Chris, for introducing our panel discussants. We can all agree that we are coming to hear from very experienced individuals, and we don't want to delay much. We just want to zoom into straight interaction. But before we begin, I'll please like to request that we all stay muted so that we allow our discussants to flow as much as they can. So please stay muted as much as you can. So the floor is now set, and I would like to introduce our very first panel discussant, who is in a person of Mr. Kweku Gwedu. He's going to take us through some of the key issues in AI and its relation to the legal field, issues on the trends and any other thing related to it. Then we'll take the second resource person after that. Mr. Kweku Gwedu, if you are ready, please, we are so much ready for you.
Thank you. Can I share my screen, please?
Yes, please, you can go ahead.
Okay. Can you see my screen, please?
Perfect. Yes. If you can full screen it.
Okay. Have I?
Yes, please.
Are we okay?
Yes, please.
Yes, please. It's perfect now.
Okay. So thank you. Thanks for the introduction, and thanks for everybody for coming. My name is Kweku Gwedu, as has been mentioned. So the objectives I've set for this presentation is to I have the easier job of doing a broad introduction to AI, and then Dr. Okoye has a difficult job of doing the specific application in the legal field. So I have set the objectives of first ensuring we have relative to the amount of time we have quite a general understanding of AI, and then briefly look at general applications of AI, and then look at specific applications in the legal field. And like I said, Dr. Okoye will step in on the doing these. I hope to dispel some myths, some hypes, and then I hope to answer the question, can machines, and hope to answer the question, what is AI, what is AGI, what is deep learning, what is big data, what is singularity? And then briefly talk about robotics and AI. We always seem to confuse the two. Then I will briefly talk about the underlying science and engineering. I promise not to be very engineering and sciencey here. We'll come down to earth as much as possible, and then look at applications in general, legal applications in general, like I said, we will then pick up from there. So everything, even though if you look into the book, everything you're going to see there is just mathematics. So we're going to talk English here, not mathematics. But if you go into the book, what you hear here, you just see them in mathematics, which is a little bit confounding. If you are interested in reading further, the University of Ghana School of Law Library has a copy of the book. BAM Library has a copy of the book. And I see this is my best picture when I visited this lady. I'm sure everybody recognizes her. We see her on our TV screens. She is the Dean of Engineering of University of Ghana. And so there's a copy with the School of Engineering. And then there's a copy with the KNUST Engineering also. Anybody who wants to see it. If you are not an engineering student, you probably just want to browse through chapters 3 and 5. You don't need to buy it because I doubt if you benefit much if you're an engineering student. But if you're interested, you go to Amazon.com and look for it. So let's start. So I'll start dealing with some of the things that we hear in the news. And one of the news headlines says, CNN exclusive, 42% of CEOs say AI could destroy humanity in 5 to 10 years. Another one, CNN, 300 million jobs to be lost according to the current wave of AI, says Goldman Sachs. And then Yuval Noah Harari argues that AI has hacked the operating system of human civilization. And then comes Blake Lemoine, who says that AI has spoken to him and that AI is a human being. For that reason, he was sacked from Google and then he became a news headline. Those of us in AI, we classify all these headlines as, if you excuse my language, nonsense on steroids. That's all I have time to say about these headlines. Okay. Let me not go further into them, but you may conveniently ignore them. Can somebody unmute his or her microphone and read this screen for me? What is written in the sheet?
One N73LL1J3.
No.
Intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. Stephen Hawking.
Intelligence is the ability to adapt to change, Stephen Hawking. And Everybody can tell what's on the left and what's on the right, right? Can somebody tell me?
In African traditional foreign, reflecting such depth of knowledge and expertise in an area of law.
The two images. Can somebody tell me what these two images are?
Are they glasses or?
Okay, so just tell me what you can see.
Okay, I can see two images. One glass is standing and the other one is broken.
One glass is standing, one is broken. Now, what you have just done, reading this and determining that this is a glass and the one is broken, no computer on earth can do this. No computer on earth can do this.
Wow, is that so?
Yeah, no computer on earth can do this. Now we need to do extremely laborious and careful programming for a computer that has been shown the image on the left to say that it is the same image that is broken. We need to do extremely laborious programming to let a computer read this screen, capture the image, scan the image, and split the language apart and read it with understanding. How come the human brain can do this so easily? The human brain can do this so easily. It's almost a no-brainer. The human brain looks at it and immediately says, this is what's going on. Now, there can only be two kinds of problems in science. Either a problem is tractable or non-tractable. Either a problem is solvable .
Hello.
I
think
yes.
Mr.
Boedu is off at the moment.
Yeah,
I thought I was the only one.
I think his connection was okay. Let me get him.
Right.
Hello. Yeah, Kweku, are you back?
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, we lost you.
I'm back. Okay.
I think the AI.
So let me share my screen again.
All right. The artificial intelligence, they are against you. The robots are.
Okay. Are we there? Hello? Hello,
Yes.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So when a problem is non-tractable, in mathematics, we say it's a chaotic system. It's a time series chaotic system. So, but how come the human brain can solve chaotic system problems? This is the envy of engineering, that when the problems are tractable, fine, we will develop mathematical equations. It doesn't matter how complex, how difficult, we will develop the equations and get computers to solve such problems. But when the problems are non-tractable, then how come the human brain solves it so easily? So let's find out what the human brain is doing. Now, science knows much more about space, knows much more about the Earth than the human brain. So a study in artificial intelligence, you are required to take a course in biology, specifically the human brain. And so the little that has been learned about the human brain is the use of its neurons. And the human brain has, we are told, trillions and trillions of neurons that it uses to do what is called pattern recognition. So the human brain, it seems, takes a picture or forms a pattern about the glass. The human brain, it seems, forms a picture about what is called a table. And if you break up the legs and hack it with a saw, the human brain can still tell you who broke my table. Once you do that to a device or an object that a computer has taken a picture of, if you break it up, the computer cannot recognize it any longer. So the pattern recognition ability of the human brain is what human beings, what scientists and engineers want to use to see how we can solve non-tractable problems. And if we can create something that looks like how the human brain is working, then it means we've created artificial intelligence. So the human brain uses intelligence, which would, in this context, call natural intelligence. And it is suspected that pattern recognition is what the human brain is. Therefore, let us use pattern recognition as the human brain uses, using what is called neural networks. Now, let me briefly touch on robotics and AI. These are two different things, but we often hear them convoluted. Now, robotics follow tractable, solve tractable problems. Okay. Now we know it's very complex, but we know equations that will make the machine jump. We know the equations that will make the machine go back. So these are tractable problems. We then write precise programs, which we then put in a computer, which can either have no body or can have a body. Okay. And we give it specific tasks to perform. For instance, we have the Titanic accident.
Hello.
And robots are then sent to the deep sea to go and look for the device that is broken. Robots do that. And robots do that because in robotics, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, Kweku, can I suggest
Yes.
something? It looks like you keep breaking, so I would suggest you put off your video. That may help.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if you put off your video and the demands on your this thing will be.
That will reduce.
I mean okay, yeah. I think this may be helpful. Yeah.
That should reduce the consumption. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we want something precisely done, we use robots. And because we have robots, we know how to program them, and we know how to send robots to do precise things, okay? Now that is different from artificial intelligence. So when we see robots, let us not say that this is artificial intelligence going, okay? So what human beings want to do is see how we can copy the function of the human brain and implement it in engineering. And currently, what we are trying to do is pick one function at a time. A human being can read, so we create a neural network that will be able to read, ChatGPT. A human being should be able to predict the outcome of a process, a scientific process. So we create a neural network that will be able to do that. So there are several things a human being can do, just too many things a human being can do. If we are able to get AI to do every single thing that a human being can do, then at that point we say we have reached singularity, i.e., the machines will then come at level, at par with human beings, in that the machines can do everything that human beings can do. That is what is called singularity in AI engineering. Okay. A little bit more about singularity as we go. Okay. So what is intelligence? I've touched on it.
I think Mr. Boyd's connection is
Yeah.
not helping.
So I'm just thinking, MC.
Yes.
I'm just thinking if we, his the discussion was going to lay the foundation and all that.
Exactly.
Then the second resource person will come in with the application tools to demonstrate some of the AI tools for the legal field. I'm thinking we should let Dr. Okoye
begin his.
Yeah, take it up. Then let's see. I'll get to Kweku Bodu, and let's see. I'll let him know that if he can get another connection. So okay. So MC, I think we can let Dr. Okoye come in whilst we sort out Kweku Bodu's connection. Would that be okay?
I think that should be fine. Dr. Okoye.
Yeah.
Please, will that be okay with you? Can you take over now so that we rectify the issues with Mr. Boyd's connection?
Oh, why not?
All right, please do. Please take over. Thank you.
All right. So still good afternoon to all of us. And it's really a pleasure for me to really take you through some of the applications that can be used in the legal field. So I think I'll just go straight and then share a little PPT, and then we can box on from there. Good. Good. So artificial intelligence implication for legal field, and to look at the applications that can be used in the area or in the legal field. Yes. So my presentation will touch on just a brief introduction towards AI and the legal field, and also we'll try. Okay, then we'll also try and then demonstrate some of the AI applications that can be used by lawyers, judges, and the administration for justice, and also conclude with one or two statements. So basically that is going to be my presentation. Good. To start with, AI basically has to do with the ability of digital computers to perform tasks commonly associated with intelligent beings. So you could see that lawyer was trying to differentiate between AI and the likes and comparing it to that of the human brain. Now, I must say that AI has come to stay. From where I stand, AI has come to stay. And you know, some of these disruptive technologies, when they come in, sometimes, you know, they pose some form of threats. And then we have some issues regarding the application or the use of some of these tools. So I believe AI finds itself in that angle. Good. And to buttress the point of enabling computers to perform tasks associated with intelligent beings, the law or the legal field also do use some of these AIs to really help them do their work well. Now, from all indication, lawyers started by looking at some of these cases, talking about how AI will take over from some people. AI will lead to the introduction of AI into the legal field, will lead to loss of jobs and all that. To some extent, it is not true, in a sense that for where I stand, I believe so strong that AI serves as an assistive tool where AI can help the legal practitioners to be able to perform their work well. Now, in the 21st century, speed is of the essence. Speed is of the essence, whether we like it or not. Speed is of the essence. And for that matter, you could see that any device or object around us is developed with the aim of achieving some high level of speed. We can talk of cars, we can talk of computers. Now we are having computers with high processing speed and all that. So you could see that in the 21st century, speed is of the essence. And one way by which we as legal practitioners or as users is to use AI to help us achieve that kind of speed we want to talk about. So let me go straight by looking at some of the applications that can be used in the legal field. Now, to start with, I would love to talk about automated speech recognition softwares that can be used in the legal field. We believe so strong that when it comes to the legal field, communication is very important and is one great tool. And you could see that the use or the words we use can one way or the other lead to a particular action. So AI sort of came up with some form of automated speech recognition that can aid lawyers to record some of these speech or voices that their clients do send to them. So when we talk of an automated speech recognition software, then we are talking about a software that is defined as a technology that can process speech uttered in a natural language and convert it into readable text with a high degree of accuracy. So at the end of the day, automated speech recognition softwares can convert live audio, recorded audio, video files into readable text. Now you could see that this particular category of AI software can really help in the legal firm, especially when it comes to recording of what speech. In terms of communication, it can also be used. So I would love to touch on these 4 different applications, AI applications that can be used in doing that. First is what we call the AMBER script. The AMBER script can allow a person talk or record a video, and AMBER script can convert that audio recording into text. And it's being used in some applications such as the Netflix and the likes. They all make good use of some of these AMBER scripts. We can also talk of the Otter AI. This also records meetings in real time and get any of your audio or video files transcribed to text with highest accuracy. Now, what we are trying to say is that for sure, these AI systems are not going to come up with 100% accuracy. However, they can help us achieve some great or some high level of accuracy. Now, for AMBER script and Otter AI, they, in fact, most of them are the, you'd have to subscribe, you'd have to pay for them and then make good use of them. But on my right side, there are other AI tools that are free and we can use in the legal field. One is the TinyWow. Now, the TinyWow allows us to convert audio recordings, audio files into text, and also it can extract text from video files. Now, you could see that this can really help the lawyer so much, especially when the lawyer wants to provide some high level of quality service to his or her client. So instances where clients would always have to meet the lawyer, and then the lawyer would have to take pen and paper and be writing statements here and there. The client can be in his or her home and then just make a video or an audio recording and then send it to the lawyer. Now, this AI tool can help the lawyer transcribe the audio message into text, in which at the end of the day, the lawyer can format those texts and can use it as part of his activities towards defending his clients. Now, we can also talk of the Google Docs. And most people don't know about the Google Docs when it comes to using AI in writing. Okay, and Google Docs provides live transcription, transcription. What it means is that as you talk, it is able to transcribe these texts. It is able to transcribe these texts or these audio into text, in which at the end of the day, it becomes easier for the lawyer or even the judge to format them. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because in the year 2013, 2014, I had a court case where I was duped by some company. So I reported the company to some of my good lawyers, and then a case was filed. Now, upon getting into the court for the first time, in fact, I was so tensed that I couldn't see my left from right. So it got to my turn where I had to go and stand in there and then make my case. Now, I didn't see the judge writing. So the judge, after swearing and all that, I was asked to start, talking. So I started talking, I made my case. And frankly speaking, I didn't know the judge was writing. At a point, the judge had to stop and tell me that, hey, my friend, I'm writing, so you tone down. Okay, so I had to tone down. And then he told me to go back again from the previous statement I made. And truth be told, I'd forgotten what I said. So I decided to paraphrase the statement again. And the judge got furious that, hey, I should repeat exactly what I said again. So I had to tell the judge that I'm sorry, and for that matter, I would love to start again. Now, you could see that if we have some of these live transcription tools being deployed in our court settings, it can aid the judge, especially when it comes to writing. And I would love to demonstrate so that we'll know how the Google Docs works. Now, Google Docs is an application that is with Google. So all what you need is a Google account. Once you have a Google account, you can access your Google Docs. And please note, the feature that I want to talk about works well with Google Chrome. So for those using Mozilla Firefox, it is likely you will not get that tool that can help you do the live transcription. So I would suggest that if we want to use the Google Docs to help us in terms of live transcription, we should use the Google Chrome web browser. Okay, so this currently I'm in my Google Chrome web browser, and then I'm currently in my account. Good. So,
Dr. Okwe.
Yes, sir.
Are you sharing
Can
your
you
screen?
show the screen, your screen, the demonstration?
Okay.
Yes, if you can share it, that would be perfect.
Okay. All right. Yes. Okay, so basically this is my Google Chrome web browser. Yes. So with this, I can now note that I've logged into my Google browser using my Gmail account. So for me to access the Google Docs, it becomes easy. What I have to do is just to go to this section and then click on the button. Once I click on it, it will give me other applications that works with my Google account. Now I'm interested in Google Docs. So this is the Google Docs I'm referring to. So once you click on it, it will open your Google Docs account for you. Good. So currently it has loaded some of my files I've uploaded into the Google Docs. Now, let's assume a judge wants to type or write a statement that is being made by a complainant. So with that, using the Google Docs, the judge would have to just create a blank page to start with. Good. Now you realize that Google Docs provide us with an interface that already looks like Microsoft Word. So with some of these tools, we are so conversant with them that we can easily apply them. We can easily apply them. So to start with, maybe I'll change the title of the document and make it maybe Elias Case 1. Good. Just by clicking in there, you can change Elias Case 1. Now, automatically, once you change the topic, the title, it is saved into your Google Drive, which is in your Google Cloud. So it makes it easier for it to be accessed anywhere with the help of an internet. Good. So I can type, or maybe just to start the recording, I can type maybe the name of the case, or I can give it a title. Say, case involving maybe assault or something. Yes. So I can bolden it. Yes. And then change the font if I want to. Good. So let's assume that is done. So the judge can then say, okay, Elias Okwe, we want to hear you. So what happens is we would have to activate the voice typing tool. Would have to activate the voice typing tool. Now, once we activate the voice typing tool, it gives us what? An image in the form of a microphone depicting that it is ready to pick voices. So for the recording to start, I would have to click on that image for the recording to start. So once I click on it, good morning. My name is Elias Okwe. I am here to report a case about an assault. Period. Next line. Sorry. Good. Oh, sorry, internet. All right. Good. So it records. Let me go back, please. I think the internet was a little. All right. 2 days ago, I met a gentleman called Kwame. And he decided to show me a place where I can really use to do. So you could see that at the end of the day, whatever I say is being transcribed live. And with this, the judge has every right to edit the statement at any point in time. So with this, it becomes very easier for the judge to really, table down a particular complaint or a particular story or statement coming from a particular complainant. Now, I believe so strong that this can help the judge, because at the end of the day, we know that in most cases they do write, and upon writing would have to then allow somebody to type what is being written. But with the help of an AI tool like this, it becomes easier for the judge to manage a live transcription statement that is being made by a particular complainant. So this is what I'd wanted to share first, that at the end of the day, we have a speech recognition system that can provide live transcription of court cases, or basically statements that are being made in the court. And with this, the judge can see whatever is being typed, and the judge can say, okay, at a point, let me bring in a paragraph here. And please note that with this particular application, wherever you find yourself, especially with COVID, where we're not asked to meet and all that, this is an online application with the help of the internet. Maybe if the person is sick and for that matter cannot come to court, the person can give his or her statement, and then it will be recorded, where at the end of the day, it can be seen. And with that, the judge can now decide to format it and then put in 1 or 2 things. Now, these systems basically are not 100% accurate. However, it can help the judge when it comes to maybe recording of statement or writing of statement. Yes, so this is 1, 2. And please note that we can have it in different languages. Okay, so if you want to change the language, maybe we'll go to the tool section. Good. Or better still, we can come to where we have the English US and then change it to maybe French. We can change it to French. My French is not good, so pardon me. I just want to make one statement in French. Je m'appelle Elias Okwe. Good. So it's able to write in French too. So I believe so strong that with the live transcriber, it can help the judge, especially when it comes to recording of statements from the complainant. Yes. Please note that with some of these speech recognition applications, they've been programmed in such a way that it can be able to suggest or predict, especially when it comes to confusing words. You know, words like sheep. Sometimes it's very confusing. So instances where the AI system is not able to grab the correct word well, what it does is it scans through that paragraph to check whether this particular word suits or can be fit into that paragraph or not. So once that is done, the file is saved. Automatically, the file is saved, and it can be in the Google Cloud. It can be accessed by all. have you seen, because I'm speaking in English, it's not able to continue because I'm to speak in French. But if I'm to change it back to English, whatever I will say will be in English. So I think that is the first app I want us to know. And this is free. This is free. This is free. We can use it. The lawyers can also use it, especially when we are tired typing and we really want to get a particular document drafted in a particular Word application. We can make good use of some of these AI tools. Good. So once you go back, it's already in your good. So this is it. The judge can go back to it again and then continue with the live transcription. Yes, it can be done like that. Good. Secondly, I would love to show you how the TinyWow works. Now, instances where your clients have sent you an audio file, maybe due to some misunderstanding between your client, maybe your client is a lady and then the husband, and there were some form of confrontations here and there, but the lady was able to record. The recordings can be sent to the lawyer, and it is expected that the lawyer has to play the audio and listen to the words carefully and possibly jot down some words that he thinks he can use to defend his or her client. So to do that, we can use the TinyWow. With a TinyWow, let me go back to the website. With the TinyWow, this is the homepage. This is the homepage for TinyWow. And please note, it is also free. It is also free. It can be used. It is also free. Good. So with a TinyWow, for us to do the audio transcription and that of the video transcription, we'll go to the video section and then we'll choose all video tools. We'll choose all video tools. Now, when we go to all video tools, it gives us all manner of tools that can be used. Currently, we are interested in audio to text. Audio to text. So we can click on audio to text, and then it will request for us to upload our audio file. So with this, you can upload the file your client gave to you. So let's assume that there is an audio file. Let me use one of this, and then okay. So what happens is it will first load into the system, and then it would love to check whether indeed it is not a robot doing that. Good. So by doing that, it will have to now convert the audio into text by taking out. Good. So it is done. It says your file is ready. So download. It asks us whether we want to save it into our Google Drive or we prefer to save it onto our device. So I choose save to device. Save to device. Good. So at the end of the day, it is downloaded, and I can now copy the text. I can now copy the text or open the text. Good. Please, can we see the text?
No.
Okay.
No,
all right. So let me share the text. So at the end of the day, the file that I placed into the system, the AI app, has been able to transcribe the words. Okay, it has been able to write it in the form of a text format for me. At the end of the day, I need not listen to much of the audio. Maybe you would need to listen for maybe verification purposes. However, you are able to get a first hand of whatever is in the audio, in which you can have it documented and then can be used as part of your legal activities to help save your clients. Good. Also, we can follow the same. Format for the video. So we'll go back and then we'll choose the video to text function, video to text, video to text. So once I click on the video to text, the same format, it will ask me to upload my video file. Good. So upon clicking on it, I have a video here in which I can load. Good. So let's assume that we have a CCTV camera footage somewhere taking recordings of a particular action that happened between the lady and her husband. So at the end of the day, we would love to use the CCTV footage. We want to use the CCTV footage to help us in coming up with certain good best point or tactical way we can be able to use to defend our client. So with that, we would have to upload the video. Note that at the end of the day, we want the text. We want the text. We want the text. So this AI app can transcribe and take out the audio part of the video and then transcribe it into text in which it can be used to prepare our legal documents. Good. So we can see that it is done processing, and then at the end of the day, your file is ready. So do you want to save it or you want to download it? I want to save it onto the device. You can also put it in your cloud. Once it's in your cloud forever, you can have access to it. You can have access to it. Good. So to show that, good. So this becomes the text. It's transcribed from the video. I've never seen, it's a robotic file. It's a robotic video file. So I've never seen a robot like this before. It has to be the first time. What is this thing? So it is able to transcribe all the speech in that particular video for you in a form of text. And with that, you can copy it and then make good use of it as part of your legal activity towards defending your client. I must say that with the free versions, they lack what we call speaker identity. You know, with the paid version, it has speaker identity, where at the end of the, so for example, the Amber script and then the Uta AI, they do have speaker identity. So at the end of the day, they're able to identify that, okay, speaker one said this, speaker two said this, speaker one said this and this in addition, speaker two said this and this in addition. And such an AI tool can also be used for meetings. And it's being used for meetings in the legal firms. It can be used for meetings. And it can also, if implemented well, can be used to record the court proceedings, where at the end of the day, the system is able to identify a particular speaker talking, and by so doing, it can transcribe what that speaker said. And with that, we can help reduce some of the burden on our legal practitioners or those who practice, or our legal practitioners, yes. So please, these are some of the examples of speech recognition softwares that can be used by our legal practitioners. Good. Secondly, I would love to talk about the use of the AI chatbot software. And I know recently we've had lots of take on ChatGPT, its advantages, what it can do and all that. And there have been
Dr.
Yes.
If you can move quickly a bit so you can wrap up for us.
Oh, okay. All
right. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So we can talk of the chatbot software. We can talk of the ChatGPT, in which we've hyped it. Yes. We can talk of Harvey. Now, Harvey is also an AI chatbot that was built on ChatGPT. But for Harvey, it has been tailored only for the legal section. So what it means is that it will be more preferable, or it will be preferable to use Harvey as compared to using of the ChatGPT and another AI chatbot called the Google Bard. Now we've had a feel of how ChatGPT looks like, And for Harvey, before you can be able to even get the interface to use, you would have to apply, request for them where they can meet you and then have demo sessions with you. I applied for it last month and I'm still waiting for their reply. But from indication and from research, lots of law firms are really using the Harvey because it can help in terms of contract analysis. It can also help provide due diligence, litigation, regulatory compliance, and a whole lot. So this is another form of ChatGPT, but has been tailored only to suit those in the law firm or in the legal field. So that is that. And then we have the Google Bard. It's also an AI chatbot that can be used to what? Provide all manner of assistance. Now to show that, let me go to the good. Now, okay, so this is the Google Bard. This is Google Bard. Once you type bard.google.com, it takes you to the homepage of Google Bard. Yes, this is how Google Bard looks like. And it also requests for prompts. And this can also be used by lawyers, especially when they want to get to understand certain things, especially the upcoming lawyers could use this to help them understand issues pertaining to maybe the legal field more. And also it can, let me demonstrate this for you to see. Now, we have in the States or in the Western world, we have AI systems that provides case analysis or is able to provide case analysis and also predict some form of penalties or sentencing that is required based on a particular case. So I just want to try this. I'm telling Google Bard that a driver bypassed the traffic light when the light was red. Give your analysis and propose what sentencing using the Constitution of Ghana. I'm using Google Bard because Google is one of the big search engines that do have some of these information. So I can also add that give three maybe example of such cases. Good. So this is the response. Sure, here is my analysis and proposed sentencing for a driver who bypassed the traffic light when the light was red using the Constitution of Ghana. Okay. Bypassing a traffic light, and then it states, this is the proposed sentencing. The proposed sentencing for bypassing a traffic light when the light is red should be based on what? On the severity of what? Good. So, and then it gives some of the cases. So example of cases. Here are 3 examples of cases where drivers were sentenced by bypassing traffic lights. In 2019, a driver in Accra was sentenced to 5 years in prison for bypassing a traffic light and causing fatal accident. In 2020, a driver in Kumasi was sentenced to 3 years in prison for bypassing and causing serious injury accidents. So you could see that at the end of the day, these AI tools, AI chatbots, can also be used to assist. Now, this AI is not to dictate, not at all, it's not to dictate, but can just be used to assist the judges, especially when it comes to giving out fair verdicts. It can be used to assist in providing some clues or some suggestions to the judges when it comes to giving out verdicts. Yes. For a lawyer, maybe want to ask the question, what are some of the benefits? Okay, so maybe for an upcoming lawyer, I would want to know what are some of the benefits associated with removing, or let's say transferring state cases to federal courts. Give some example of such cases. Now, this can also provide some answers that can aid a lawyer to know some of these things. So there are few benefits associated with removing state cases to federal court. These include, so these are some of the points raised: more consistent ruling, familiarity with federal law, speedier trials, more resources, and the like. And here are some of the cases. So a case involving a patent dispute between two companies, and then it's stated. So you could see that at the end of the day, these can be assistive enough for our legal practitioners, be it a lawyer, be it a judge, be it an administrator. He or she can make good use of some of this AI chatbot to assist them in understanding certain things or helping them take some stands. Also, it provides the lead. It provides the lead. Instead of thinking of some of the benefits and all that, why don't I ask the AI chatbot to provide me some information? Based on that, I can know how to go about it. So we are not saying that the AI chatbot is 100%. No, please. It's prone to lots of errors. And for that matter, anytime we receive some of these answers, it is also important for us to verify them in order to validate the kind of information that are being processed by these AI bot systems. Good. And then for the last category of applications that I want to share with us is that of the data extraction software. Extraction.
Can you do that in like 2 minutes?
Yes, please, I can.
All right.
Good. Now, in most cases, we do have clients coming with all manner of unstructured data. One could be in a form of an image. One could be in a form of maybe a Word document. One could be in a form of Excel and all that. Now, you realize that this becomes so hectic for a lawyer to sit down and then draw the map by picking up data from different files. Now, we are saying that AI can help the lawyer to do that easily. So we can talk of data extraction files. Now, I want to talk about these two data extraction files. One, we can talk of the Legalize AI tool, and then we can talk of the NanoNet. Now, these are being used by legal firms outside there. And you could see that this help provide contract review. So assuming you've been provided with maybe 8 pages of documents in which you have to review. And per the standard of your firm, there are certain things that you do check before any other thing. Now, once you have an AI system that can extract data, it becomes easier, where at the end of the day, you upload the file, and then you, with the help of prompt, you just enter what you want to see, and then these systems can extract them for you. So it can be used for contract review, document review, and at the end of the day, we can also generate a new document in which it can form a summary of all the files that were submitted by your client, as well as NanoNet. So let me move straight to NanoNet and demonstrate how NanoNet can also be used. It's just a minute, and then I'll be done. Good. So good. Now, so this is NanoNet. Let me go back. Good. So because I'm using it for free, I'm using the free version. I'm not able to do lots of things. But once you pay, they're able to give you their APIs, and then you can use them. Good. So let's assume I've uploaded my file. So you could say, create your own document. So you can create a folder that will hold all manner of documents. It can be image document, it could be Word, it could be any file format. At the end of the day, this AI tool can extract the salient data that you need, and then it can also summarize it for you. And then you can have a fair idea of what is in all of those documents. So let's assume that I want to extract some information from this sample invoice. Now, by clicking on it, please note that this is a free version, and for that matter, I'm not allowed to use the prompt to enter what I want to see. But on your right side, you could see that these are prompts. Okay, so this is an invoice file. And just for me to know some of the things I want to see on those files, I can just put them in prompts. So a prompt could be that I want to see the buyer address. I want to see the buyer name. I want to see the invoice amount. I want to see the invoice date. I want to see the invoice number. Now, once you put all those prompts into the text field and press enter, it will be able to capture those data you want and then let you know what it is. At the end of the day, the system can also show you where it is on the file. You can also edit them if you think that some of the information over there is wrong and needs to be corrected. You can also do that. Now, once you put in your prompt, you would go through it to provide you all the data you wanted to extract. And at the end of the day, you can validate them or you can approve them. Once the file contains all the things that you want to see, then you can say that, okay, this is a good invoice, and for that matter, we can work with it. And for that matter, you can approve it. Once you approve it, it is stored, it is verified, and then it can be used. Now, note that we can also upload multiple files, different files. And then the AI tool can be used to extract data from different files and then can also summarize it into a different folder or into a different document that you can use as a summary that you picked from all those files you've stored. At the end of the day, it is able to provide us with a structured document that can be used for other legal activities. So to conclude, I'll say that AI should be utilized as a tool to aid in achieving amazing outcomes and providing quality service. Also, AI should not be disregarded, but should be used in creative ways to profit from it and also treat AI as a friend. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Okoye, for that wonderful demonstration on the various tools. Doctor, with your permission, we'd like to bring back Mr. Boadu to...
Hello, Dr. MC.
Yes.
Yes, we've made an arrangement. I have Mr. Kweku Boadu's slides to... so I will present it from my end, and then he will speak to it. Hopefully, with that arrangement, I think his connection will be much better. So let me share my screen, and I think Mr. Kweku Boadu is online.
Yes.
Yeah. Lawyer Boadu, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so I'm going to share your slide from my end, and hopefully I think we should be good to go. Okay. Okay, so Lawyer Boadu, I think you were here, if I'm right.
Next,
okay.
Okay, so we talked about intelligence, so human intelligence, which we are trying to copy, which is called artificial intelligence. So in copying it, we say that we are getting machines to learn. So the question that comes, can machines learn? Okay. So the point I was making here was that now when scientists or engineers use the word learn, they mean something different from what humans mean by learn. Except that the two words are just being used, and so we get them conflated in our minds. Okay. So let's go to the next slide and look at how we make machines learn. Okay. So this is a very simple circuit diagram. On the left-hand side, you have R1, R2, R3, R4, R5, R6. Let's forget about R6 for now. So here are the inputs. So let's say we have 5 inputs. So you have data coming in. So let's say we are trying to learn the internet. We are trying to learn some information in a document. Okay. So when the data comes in, then some weights are applied. So that's W1, W2, W3, W4, W5. Let me, if you permit me, let me give a simple example. Let's say we want to cook soup. So we have somebody who doesn't know how to cook soup, and he's going to, or she's going to learn how to cook soup with the help of an expert chef. So the input data would be R1, let's say the pepper, R2, the onion, R3, water, R4, whatever. So that's the input. Now, how much of the pepper should he take? How much of the onion should he take? So that is a weight. So W1 is the weight that's going to be attached to R1. So for the first go, this person selects random figures and say, I'm going to take X amount of R1, I'm going to take Y amount of R2. So the R1 will combine with W1, and then they will end up in sigma. That is the combiner, which is gathering everything. So the pepper comes in, a weight is applied, the onion comes in, a weight is applied, water comes in, a weight is applied, whatever other ingredients come in, the weight is applied. And then they are getting mixed in the mixer. Now there is some input which you don't mix up, let's say fish. So that one will come through what is called the bias. Okay, so there are some input which once the mixer is finished, you drop it in. Then once we now have everything in there, we now push it to what you may hear the black box approximator. That is what is labeled the pure line. So it goes through, let's say, the cooker. So that is the device which is going to process that which we have combined. Then out comes our soup. Then the expert chef will then take a sample and taste it. And the expert chef is then going to give feedback, and that is the estimation error. Expert chef is going to say, no, you made a mistake. So based on the expert chef's report, it goes into what is here is called the Woodruff Delta rule. So it goes into that, and then this function is going to now adjust how much of the pepper should we take this time? How much of the water should we take this time? How much of the onion do you take? So it adjusts the weight and says, okay, now bring in another set of input. It adjusts the weight, and then it goes through again. The expert chef now takes, so the expert chef takes it, so it's called the trainer. And by so doing, by the time the expert chef says, now you are okay, we then maintain the W1, W2, W3, the weight, and say, okay, so when the next time we're going to cook soup, bring in the input and we will apply this weight. And when that happens, we say the machine has learned. So let's go to the next slide. So on the next slide, so artificial intelligence, AI requires a lot of data. So you hear about big data. So you need a lot of data to come in, a lot of trials through the system that will allow us to now derive the correct weights. Now the error never goes to zero. So AI always has an error, has a margin of error. Let's go to the next slide. So the process of training, so let's say the first instance, when we started, the error was 2,548. So the correct signal is, say, the straight line, and then the one that is training. So you see how wide apart the correct signal and then the trainer signal are. And then when we get to cycle number 3, it starts closing up. Okay, now it is learning. When we get to cycle number 10, that's the third one, it's still closing up. Now, by the time we get to cycle 1000, it's closed up in the sense that it's now able to predict almost every data point and is able to now track it. This is how we say that AI has learned. Therefore, it has acquired the correct weights to apply whenever you bring fresh input that it never knew, it never learned of. So that's why you hear that AI is able to adapt its own goals and change its actions to conform to that which is expected. Even though it's never seen this signal, it has learned that whenever you want to process, let's say, soup, you need these precise amounts of ingredients. So whenever you bring any new ingredients, it then applies the correct weights and then able to now come out with an output. Next slide. Okay, so so what we saw in the previous slide is that the network processes everything and it comes out with an output. So that is the learning process, generating the output. Now we can make the network very complicated because remember, we are trying to copy the human brain. The human brain does not operate with 5 neurons. It operates with thousands, trillions of neurons. So we can have a system where one network generates an output, and instead of it going straight to the trainer, it takes the output into another network. And the whole cycle is repeated. And so in this case, we can have multiple networks that are trying to refine the process. When you do this, this is what we call deep learning. So simple learning is when you have a single set of input, a single set of weight, and then you have an output. But when you come to deep learning, the output goes through another network, and then that output can also go through another network. In the case of ChatGPT, ChatGPT has about 1,400 networks embedded within its neurons. So this is a very simple example of deep learning, but in reality, you can have thousands. And like I said, the human brain has trillions of it, which that's the reason why the human brain is so efficient when it is identifying objects using patterns. So we should be able to now finish now. Okay, so in terms of application, potentially we can use neural network for potentially every field, anywhere that we don't have precise solutions, for anywhere that we cannot model and create equations. Neural network is a potential for solving that problem. At the moment, the only place the world has seen success is in the area called the large language model, which is called the generative AI, which is so all you are going to be hearing about AI is word processing, large language modeling, processing data from the internet. So what ChatGPT is currently doing is that it takes all the data on the internet and then it takes it through its learning machines and derives patterns. Hello? Okay, so it derives patterns, and based on those patterns, it is then able to generate. Okay, so based on the data available to ChatGPT now, ChatGPT knows that this is how human beings talk. When a human being uses this word, there's a probability that it will be followed by that word. So based on what it has learned from the internet, ChatGPT is now able to create an essay. So ChatGPT is able to go through the entire internet and then run through, let's say, bar exams and look at questions that have been asked and answers that were provided, and then looks at the answers that score the highest. So because it uses probability theory. So it says that, well, for this question, most people answered like this. So it then uses that as the correct answer to this. So what then happens is if most people get the answer wrong, then ChatGPT will get it wrong. Okay, because it is doing predictive, it is using probability function to predict that this is what is going to happen. And you notice that this is exactly what our word processors have been doing. When you are typing on your phone, the processor is suggesting to you the next word based on the word that you have currently typed. Okay, so you may hear that ChatGPT is an advanced word processor. It's an advanced predictive algorithm. Okay, and then what ChatGPT does, what AI does is that they then employ thousands and thousands of human beings. That's exactly what ChatGPT did, who then sit behind computers, generate prompts, and then ChatGPT gives an answer. Then they correct the answer if they don't like it. So let's say they generate a prompt that says, show me how to create a bomb. ChatGPT then shows them how to create a bomb. Then it will say, no, whenever anybody asks you this question, don't give this answer. Say that I am morally bound not to show you how to make a bomb. So that is the human-based tuning. So the human beings will then tune ChatGPT to say that. And then when you go to ChatGPT and you say, show me how to create a bomb, it will then give you a moral answer. And you will then think that it's because ChatGPT is moral. No, it's a machine you are dealing with. It's gone through AI learning and it's been fine-tuned by human beings. So the specific legal applications that we are seeing and will see is just taking that which ChatGPT has done, large language models, and see what's available on the internet and be able to then predict and say, if this matter came up before a judge, for so many times that I have seen on the internet, this is how it was ruled. Therefore, the probability is high that it will be ruled this way. This is how the large language models are now working. So currently you hear AI applications in the large language model arena, but not in strict scientific applications like we talk about flying aircrafts, flying bombs, because those ones require very precise applications. And so we cannot afford to use AI at this time until probably we get to a time when we are able to refine AI to get to so that it will be able to control these things. For now, you don't want to use AI to fly your aircraft because AI is that the science we have now is using probability theory, and you can't afford your airplane, the airplane you are flying or the car you are driving in being driven on probability theory. So the manufacturers use precise science or robotics in that matter. I think we'll go to the final slide. Okay, so last but one. So the issues that come up when we are dealing with AI, one question is it possible for us to create an unstoppable intelligence? My answer to that question is no. No in the sense that whatever we do, let's say the example that I used in cooking soup, okay, it doesn't matter what weights are changed because we don't know what is happening inside the black box. So people then argue that since we don't know what's happening inside the black box, it means that AI can start behaving in ways that we have not asked it to behave. Yes, that is true to an extent. However, the worst that will happen is it will cook a bad soup. It is bound. The adaptation is bound. So there's no way you put onion, pepper, soup, water, whatever, garden eggs into the process and you get a cow coming out at the other end. No. If the weights can be adapted in ways that we don't know, but you end up with a bad soup. Okay, so if we are dealing with large language model, all we are going to end up is end up with a bad poem, a bad essay, a bad answer to a question. At no point is the algorithm going to work in such a way that the computer is going to get up, take a gun, and come and shoot anybody. So this is my answer to people who ask the question, are we going to create an unstoppable intelligence? That cannot happen. Okay, the views that we see, like we saw in the first slide in the media, most of it come out of science fiction movies, and most of it come out of exaggeration. Because yes, we have learned that from science fiction that robots, artificial intelligence is going to come and kill us, etc., etc. But there's no evidence of it based on the science. And then there's a concept called hallucination in artificial intelligence. Because the error during learning never drops to zero, so artificial intelligence can get to a point where it gets locked up in an error state, and it will definitely give you an answer. If you ask ChatGPT a question and the data that is required is beyond 2021, it will tell you, I don't have an answer because the data is beyond 2021, because the training data that was used is up to 2021. But if it is if it's up to 2021, then it will give you an answer. And when that answer is wrong, it will give it to you very boldly. That is what we call hallucinations. So AI is capable of giving hallucinating answers, and it is because of the mathematics behind it. So I say that hallucination is a mathematical reality of AI. So that's the reason why you have to always be aware that AI is going to be coming up with wrong answers some of the time. And then anthropomorphism is a human issue. When we human beings talk, we expect another human being to talk back to us. So when you give a prompt to ChatGPT and it gives you an answer back, you then start assigning human qualities to it. So we then start treating it as a human being. AI can get very wrong, especially at high order polynomials. Let's not go into that mathematics, but let it suffice to tell you that AI is very useful, but it can be very, very wrong just because of the mathematics. It's not a spirit behind it. It is not anything behind it. It is just pure mathematics. And when the mathematics goes wrong, it can go wrong. So can machines learn, or can machines reason? Yes, they can learn, they can reason, but only in mathematical terms, not in the cognitive terms that human beings learn and reason. So those words are used. Machines can think, machines can learn, machines can reason. When engineers use those words, they mean something different from what you understand. But journalists pick them, put them out there, and we all assume that it is the same thinking and learning and reasoning that we do. Now, we human beings or autonomous agents like us are able to think, are able to learn, are able to reason with intent, with self-evaluation. But machines are not able to create that intent. So even if we are using the same word, learn, reason, think, it is not with self-evaluation, is not with intent. Unsupervised learning, let me not talk about it, but it's something that is, I tell you, it's a mathematical nightmare. So AGI is artificial general intelligence. So this is where we reach singularity, where AI can do every single thing a human being can do. I would tell you that from what I know, I will tell you it is impossible because we don't even know what human beings can do. And if you take a one-day-old baby, what this baby can do, computers cannot do. If you pinch a one-day-old baby, it understands and it cries. Now, if you pinch an AI machine, it just sits there. Okay, so it's to create computers that will be able to do exactly what human beings do is what we call artificial general intelligence, is what we call singularity, and that I will my personal opinion, impossible, because human beings, we need an intelligence higher than human beings to be able to create another human being. So finally, last slide. So I conclude that AI has real applications. However, be careful. There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of exaggeration. There's a lot of speculative things. If you hear 42% of CEOs say AI is going to kill all human beings, what is the evidence? They don't. 300 million jobs are going to be lost. What is the evidence? Speculative. We are faced with real human needs, and we need to find solutions, whether tractable or intractable. So work in AI has to continue to find solutions. We need to ponder our laws and regulations. We need to educate. We need to train all disciplines related to AI and encourage work in AI and robotics and not stop it. The lead that Europe is taking, I think, is unfortunate. I think is questionable. The first law was a temporary ban by Italy. Thank God they have reversed it. Now Europe is taking another step, and we have to be careful not to take legal positions that would discourage AI, but rather encourage our children to learn. And then whether we are lawyers or not lawyers, the present generative AI is to help us start our work. As Dr. Okwe was saying, it is not to do our work for us. It is to help us. So when you have an output of ChatGPT, it is only the start of work, because the information you are holding from ChatGPT may be completely wrong because of the probability function it is applying on information it has gathered from the internet. Currently, there are people who have specialized in deceiving ChatGPT. And because ChatGPT, and of course AI, is using probability theory, it looks at questions that have the most number of answers. So people have decided we are going to put a lot of wrong answers to this question. And if they put a lot of wrong answers to this question, ChatGPT will then throw that particular answer to the top of its table and say, this is the correct answer. So this is why it is feared that fake news is going to be generated. Once you are able to feed it with a lot of fake information, if there's a lie about A, you just keep repeating that lie. You employ 10,000 people to just everybody go onto the internet and state this particular lie about this person, and all of a sudden ChatGPT is going to now pick it as if it's a fact and present it. And once, because we human beings now trust AI and we want to assign human qualities to it, if it says something, we're going to pick it. If it's an election and a candidate, something like that is being said by a candidate, people are going to just pick it and repeat it. So this is the danger that we have to watch out for. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Boadu, for coming back to finish your presentation. We also want to thank Dr. Okwe for the earlier demonstration. Shall we quickly go into the Q&A session? Please, if you have any question that you'd like to ask our discussants, there are two options. You either send the question into the chat, or you can raise your hand and then we would call you to ask your question. Q&A session, please. I think there is one in the chat. Just a moment, let me see. Francis is asking if AI achieves singularity. Francis, I think Mr. Okwe, Mr. Boadu has answered that in his submission. Mr. Boadu, if you want to say something about his question, can you please go ahead?
Well, I think my opinion is it's impossible.
Right. Right. Thank you. Any other questions for Mr. Boadu and Dr. Okwe? on their presentations. Right. Salim is asking if we have cracks for this software. I'm sure. Dr. Okwe and then Mr. Boyd. Someone is asking if there are cracks for the software you use for your demonstration.
Well, unfortunately for him, I'm a lawyer.
Yeah.
I won't, and I will not answer that question.
There are legal issues to that.
You see, there's another side of it. One of the hypes we find in AI is that now is a vogue to say that this is AI. So any complex software I write, since the code is secret, I just slap the name AI on it and say this is AI and then sell it for a higher price. So this is something that is going to happen, that a lot of people are going to come and say we have AI software, AI this, AI that, and it is just a complicated software which has been labeled AI. I mean, if you take, for instance, using computer vision, you can take an image and then there's very complicated software that will be able to tell this is tomato, this is onion, this is fish. So if you take a picture of your fridge and give it to that software, it will be able to isolate tomato from this and from that. And then it runs through its database and knows how to cook a certain food using these elements. This is software that we've always had with us. Okay. Today, when that happens in ChatGPT 4, we say this is AI. Okay. Whilst it's a tractable problem, we know how to solve it, we have solved it, the software just happens to be complicated. Okay, so we're going to get a lot of these softwares on the shelf that is going to be labeled AI, just to get us to pay money for it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Dr. Frank Banasika, please go ahead with your question. Then we'll take the next one from Dr. Usu. All right.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is quite an inspiring presentation for both presenters. Yeah, my question is, people tend to trust the output that the AI tools give us, most often, they trust it so much. It means that anytime they make an input, okay, they actually, whatever comes out, it means that it's final, that's the answer. So, and one of the presenters told us that, AI can give us wrong answers, erroneous answers. So what advice do you give to the general public in terms of that it could be possible that whatever it is given to you is wrong, and so you have to play with caution, because that was something that I heard on the media, that a lawyer is being sued for making reference to cases that really did not exist because he based his research on GPT and then AI. Yeah, that's my question, please. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Can we have the next question from Dr. Uzawari?
Would Dr. Okwe pick that?
Yes, I wanted to pick two so that you can respond to it quickly.
Okay. All right. Dr. MC, yeah, thank you. And once again, yeah, thanks for our resource persons. They've given us much food for thought as far as AI for the legal field is concerned. I want to ask a much broader question. So, Lawyer Boadu, looking at the legal environment in Ghana currently, and the pace of digitalization and all that, what would you say about the impact of AI, the use of AI in Ghana, looking at our court system, the legal environment in Ghana? Would you say it can make an impact? Would our legal practitioners take advantage of these tools to kind of enhance the administration of justice in the country? Do you see these AI tools as making a positive impact on the entire administration of justice? So, for instance, do you think that it can facilitate in the speedy adjudication of court cases in any way? So this is quite a broader issue. If we can have a sense of where AI is going, if you look at our legal field with specific reference to Ghana. Yeah, thank you.
All right, so Mr. Boadu, if you can address the question from Vizine, and then Dr. Okwe, if you can, when is that, if you can take you can respond to that on the advice you give to the general public as far as the outcomes of AI responses are concerned. Please, thank you.
Okay. Let me say that on the Ghanaian, let me start from the last question. On the Ghanaian scene, to what extent are we going to be adapting these tools? I have been in technology for a while before coming into law, and it is only very recent that this is about 4 years, only recent, that we have for the first time digitized the lawyer records. And when we did the digitization, we digitized from 1877 to date. So from 1877 to date, it is now that we have digitized lawyer records. So the legal profession is quite slow in adapting these technologies. And AI, like I told you, is a vogue. Okay, so now everybody's invoking AI. But voice recognition software has been with us since I learned computer science. Okay, transcription software, softwares that will transcribe speech to text have been with us since I learned computer science. If you take an old scanner, and you will see the word OCR, optical character recognition, entered on it. Okay, so that's what scanners do. So these are softwares that have been with us for God knows how long. Okay, but now that AI is in vogue, we are going to take the word AI and slap on all of them and say, hey, we now have a voice recognition, so it is AI. We now have optical character recognition, it is AI. So my problem is, if the legal profession did not adopt them or hasn't adopted them all this while, even though they have been there, are we now going to adopt them? I don't know, but I suspect that we are going to be very slow.
Once you are here, you can't get no.
I suspect that we are going to be slow. I think it will happen, but we are going to be slow. And whenever we decide to do it, it's yes, we can go for modern tools, but these tools have been with us all this while. Okay, it is only now that we are just putting the word. If you take, if you take the major word processors, they have had optical character recognition. They have had voice recognition a long time. Our phones have had voice recognition a very long time, where you speak into the phone and it dials a number for you. We've had all these things for a long time, but now we are just going to slap the word AI on it, because if you say AI, then people will buy it. Okay, so that is my fear, that if we have not adopted them, we may be slow in adopting them. Now, on the issue of people believing it, so what do we do? Yes, it's true. People believe it. So I don't know how it's going to happen, but my prediction is that in only as short as 1-2 years, the world is going to realize that all the hype that we heaped on AI actually isn't so. And so we will start descending and then start picking the real practical applications, because there are real practical applications, except that now we are mixing it with a lot of hype. So I believe that with time, we will come and settle. We will realize that, no, but this thing is generating just too many errors, okay? And then we will find out what is the real practical use, okay? And so I think we will find out, okay? Together with maybe education that should go out, but there's very little you can do to educate when the press is intent on convincing people that AI is dangerous, AI is coming to kill people, etc., etc. But I believe that we will figure it with time. Then the question of, is AI coming to take our jobs? What did computers do? Did the computers take our jobs? What did the tractors do? Did the tractors take our jobs? What did the factory machines do? Did they take our jobs? Yes, but you realize that it was a good idea. So I think that with every industrial revolution, we lose some jobs, okay? But to be honest with you, my least fear is with AI, okay? There are certain jobs that will go away anyway, because we are not supposed to do them. Certain manual jobs will go. If your job is just to sit in the office and type letters, then that job will go, because you are not supposed to be doing that in the first place. But when that job goes, that person is going to upgrade himself or herself, and there'll be a better job. The article that said 300 million jobs will be lost, that same down if you read fully, it says it also estimates that the global economy is going to grow because of AI 7% annually. And 7% annually, global economy, that's huge. Okay, so yes, some jobs may be lost, but a lot more will be increased. In the OECD, it's been found out that whenever technology takes out any job, 2.6 jobs are created in its place. So that is not something that we should fear. Jobs like farm hands were lost, but life for humanity became better after all. So I hope I have attempted to answer your questions.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Boadu. Let's take the response from Dr. Okoye on the outcomes.
Yeah, I think so. I think proper education needs to be given to the general public. You know, AI in some aspects is really working well. You know, we've had, when you go to the agricultural sectors and the manufacturing sectors and all that, they're all making good use of AIs and the likes, in which they're able to get good results. Yes, which is also true. However, it is also important that in our area where especially we use these generative AI tools, such as the ChatGPT, the Google Bard, and the likes, you could see that it is important for us to verify the kind of content it generates for us. If it is just to draft a contract, these chat systems can give you the lead by providing some areas to touch on. And I believe so strong that with organizations, they do have certain standards when it comes to certain formatting. So at the end of the day, there will be some form of inputting into the results that have been generated. So I think the general public needs to be advised on how to use some of these AI chatbot or these generative AI tools. That yes, it can provide some relevant information. However, some of these information also needs to be verified and validated before. So for example, with the case Dr. Kataka gave on the lawyers who presented a case being generated by ChatGPT, and those cases did not exist, you could see that those lawyers thought ChatGPT was the best, and for that matter, that should be it. And I want to say that, these are all disruptive technologies. And as we move on, you realize that there will be much better algorithms that will be developed in order to enhance some of the responses that these chatbot systems will be giving us. So I think moving forward, education should be given to the general public that when you're using some of these tools and then they provide certain facts, it is important to check whether indeed these information are real. Besides, it cannot give you 100% accuracy. And for that matter, there is a need to do due diligence by checking and getting your facts right.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. We still have some couple of questions, and I will need you to address them, maybe each of them 30 seconds if you can, because of our time. The first one here, I would like to address it to Mr. Boadu. There's a question on what some of the ethical considerations and challenges associated with the deployment of AI are in the real world applications. I don't know if you can address that in 30 seconds, 1 minute maximum.
Yeah, that question comes up, and it depends on what the definition the person is giving to AI. You see, we've swallowed the hype that AI is a human being. AI is a spirit. So AI is going to violate certain human things, okay, like killers, okay, things like that. So this is what gives rise to that question, okay? Now, I don't share that enthusiasm at all, because AI is mathematics, AI is science, AI is engineering. I have seen it. We say we don't know what's in the black box. I know what's in the black box, okay? So if we accept that AI is a machine, that if you turn the power off, it goes off, okay, then that question will be framed differently.
Right.
Okay. The issue that will come up will be, as I said, people are feeding wrong information into it to ensure that wrong data comes out. And the fact that if you feed wrong information into it, wrong data comes out, is what proves that AI is not intelligent. So that's the basic understanding that we have to have, that this is a proof that it is not intelligent. It is only acting according to instructions. So the ethical issue from that angle is the issue of fake news, wrong news, incorrect news, and then in addition, itself generates errors. So those are the ethical issues that come up as far as I am concerned. But the issue of it's going to kill people, is going to violate humans, I don't share that.
Maybe I'll allow you another 30 seconds to link it to Francis Kwachi is asking how we can regulate it. Maybe if you can respond to that also quickly before we take
how do we regulate it? In view of what I have just said, regulation, in my view, I would prefer a wait and see attitude. Okay, right. Because if you rush the law, you tend passing the wrong law. Okay, specific things which we have to lay our hands on is the way the Americans are doing it. The issue of fake news, that one we have identified. Let's deal with it. Okay, but the way the Europeans are going about it, let's ban it. No, I don't share that. Let me give you an example. In 1865, when cars came on the road in UK, the UK Parliament, can you believe it, passed a law called the Red Flag Act. And the Red Flag Act Google and you find a red flag act since 1865. What that law says is that this device which human beings have invented are so dangerous that they have to travel maximum 4 miles an hour. There should be 4 drivers in each vehicle. There should be 1 human being holding a red flag. This is why the law is called Red Flag Act. Walking in front of the vehicle and waving and announcing that the danger is coming, the danger is coming. This is a law that was passed in the UK because a new invention had come and the press, everybody was just went haywire and said that something has come that is so dangerous, it's going to kill all of us. So the world has seen such an example. This is why I would say that, look, let's see how the technology develops. The ones that we know, let's deal with it. But otherwise, let's see how the technology develops. Let's not rush with the law.
So we wait and see. As you mentioned, we wait and see. Yes, yes. So thank you very much, Mr. Boadu. Dr. Okoye, if you want to respond to this, why is image recognition a key function of AI?
Why is image recognition a key function of AI?
Yes, then we might take the last 2 set of questions that we can close.
Oh, okay. I think with image recognition, it has to do, it falls under computer vision. And in most cases, you know, AIs are able to detect objects. Okay, so for example, with characters, with letters, it sees them as objects that can be used in predictions and all that. And just to give maybe a little clue to some of these, you know, in my area, especially when it comes to speech emotion recognition, you know, that is where you want to detect emotions behind speech. So as part of our data pre-processing, you know, we have audio files, yes, but depending on the model you are using, I was using more of convolutional neural network. So you could see that with these audio files, we had to convert them. We had to pre-process them into what we call spectrograms, okay? These are more of images, okay? We extract it from the audio file and then we use it to train these models. So I believe so strong that with the AI, in most cases, these images can be used to detect objects and then it can be used for training purposes. I think maybe that's the more reason why, in terms of computer vision, it's important to, you know, use more of images, and it sees text, document, and all these as form of images.
Right.
So that is what I can say. Yeah.
All right. So we take the last set of questions. Wanda is asking if we are giving out information about ourselves unknowingly, or if we use AIs. And then Suka is also asking the admissibility of AI in the judicial justice system. Then maybe we want to wrap up with a third question or final question from Dr. Kingsley. He's asking, I would like to find out if there is a legislative and regulatory template of AI ChatGPT that adequately deal with issues such as privacy, security and accountability, copyright violations in Ghana. And he said his question is centered on ownership and copyright of content generated by AI. Mr. Boadu, if you can respond to this quickly.
The last one.
Mm-hmm. And then a bite on the previous one as well.
Okay. So using AI too, are we giving out information about ourselves?
Yes.
That's exactly what you are doing when you go on Facebook and you click like. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we know from Cambridge Analytica that with 300 likes, they can tell using by scanning that data, can tell the color of your skin, can tell your religion, can tell your race. So we are constantly doing that. I mean, whenever you take a Uber, you are giving data about yourself, where you are moving. Whenever you use your cell phone. So currently we are doing that. We are generating data about ourselves. Each time you jump onto the internet, you are leaving footprints behind. So that we are constantly doing. knowingly or unknowingly, we are doing that and leaving the data behind. And I showed you the chart about big data, that AI requires big data. So the AI engines are just sucking and sucking these pieces of data that we are giving it. So we are already doing it. If you can't live 1 minute with your phone off. Please, what's the admissibility of AI in the judicial system? The judicial service does not have AI as such. The judicial service is when you go to court, we are talking law, we are talking facts as to how you present your law and how you present your facts. The judge doesn't care what your sources are, so long as you follow the rules and your presentation is accurate. So this is the reason why the lawyer in the US was fined when I don't know if it's a she, just took ChatGPT output and sent it to court, because those cases were just manufactured by ChatGPT. They do not exist anywhere. So there's nothing about AI in court. It's your evidence, it's your fact, it's your law. Where you get it from, it's up to you. Only make sure the judge can find it. And then I will likely to find out if there's a legislative, I would like to find if there's a legislative or regulatory template of AI ChatGPT. Is there a template? No, there is none. Europe is creating the first law. Italy took the lead and banned ChatGPT, but temporarily. Now, Europe is about passing the first law, which in my view, it's a very bad idea. Europe has always been like that. If you look at all our laws, all the laws which unfortunately we in Ghana go and copy, we tend to shoot ourselves in the foot. Because of European laws, Google started in America, Facebook started in America, Twitter started in America, name them, all of them started in America. Why? Because of American laws. Now, these guys come from Europe and go to America and go and work in American universities and invent these things, because the American legal environment is more accommodating. So Europe passes laws that kind of bind these people, stop these people. Computers started in Europe, arguably. Charles Babbage Charles Babbage was a British. However, it is America that is now having all the name. Why? We say the 26 words that created the internet. It's the American law called the Communication Decency Act. So the Americans somehow have gotten it right. They are always either refraining from passing a law or passing the right law that allows these technologies to grow. Whilst Europe does the opposite. They keep just clamping down on these technologies. So I will urge that we tread cautiously and not just rush to follow the example that Europe is laying. Europe is very much on the path of passing the first law. The thing started in America. America is not passing the first law. So that's what I would say. But otherwise, when it comes to copyright, we have laws about copyright. So when it comes to content violations, yes, we have laws about that. And you probably have seen in the news that there's a class action suit against ChatGPT for the content that it uses. Okay, so let's see how it works. But I will, for instance, be against such a thing. We should allow ChatGPT to grow and not to stifle their growth. I mean, all of us have to learn from this. Correct or incorrect, we need to learn from our mistakes, learn from the mistakes that AI is making, and see what can we get out of it.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Boadu, for your response. I believe that most of us here would like us to continue this conversation, but because of time, we'd like to quickly wrap up. And in doing so, we'd like to take our closing remarks from our chairperson. Doc, please, if you are around, please, we'd like to take our closing remarks from you.
Oh, okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and wonderful presentations by experts. This is very interesting. We've had an understanding of what an AI is, distinguish it from robots. We've been introduced to speech recognition softwares that would be useful in the legal field, AI chatbot software, AI data extraction software. We've also been told that, yes, AI is useful, but could be wrong. So it's always necessary for you to do some cross check or some due diligence before passing the information off. And therefore, there's no fear that human beings are going to be replaced by robots, because the human being, we've been told, is more intelligent than any machine in the world. The use of AI will therefore require, especially in the legal field, based on the presentations and the answering of the questions, would require some availability of internet and computers in each and every court, especially at the lower courts. So if we are to use any of these softwares to help us or to facilitate the legal process. And we've also been educated that, look, AI is nothing new. We've actually somehow been using it, even in the legal field, but we are not aware. Because there's a new coin, AI, everyone's going to touch it. We've had the use of some sort of AI. I'm sure the speakers can correct me if I'm wrong, in terms of the use of case law databases, digital attorney, law finder, Dennis law, Judy law, in processing case laws to help us in our writing of our submissions. So, I'll say thank you so much to our distinguished presenters and to everyone, but would also look forward to the development of the AI, especially the softwares in local languages, the translation in local languages, because when you go to most of our courts, they speak not just in English, it's in local language before there's a translator. So that is what we're also looking forward to. But thank you so much. It's been very educative.
Thank you very much, Dr. Francisca Kusi-Appiah. Thank you very much for that wonderful closing remarks. We would also like to welcome our Dean, the Dean of the Faculty of IT and Communication Studies, Professor Emmanuel Asamoah, to give us his closing remarks. Prof. Professor Asamoah.
I can see him online, but
yes.
Is he there? I'm sure he's in there, but I'm sure he's caught up with some other issues. Okay, so I think MC.
Is it me you are referring to?
Yes.
Prof. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I am here.
Okay, all right. So we thought you were up to something. Okay, so
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for all of you, your attention during this. I think we've been on for about 2 hours now. I've been following in and out because of other engagements, but by and large, I've been able to get some information of what the whole topic is about. And I'm really happy at the way the speakers have dealt with the topic. In fact, when we selected the speakers, we didn't have any doubts in mind as to their ability to deliver, and they have lived up to expectation as always. I would like to thank all of them, Dr. Okoye and Mr. Boadu, for the insightful presentation. And I believe that all of us who joined, we have learned something. This is part of our responsibility as a faculty to get technology closer to the various fields. And I'll just ask that we watch out for what is coming next as far as the technology trends and awareness webinar is concerned. Time is fast spent. I would like to thank everybody for your patience. And I sincerely thank the speakers and the organizers, everybody, Dr. Wusu Owari, for the hard work in putting this thing together. We hope to see you another time when we have our next webinar series. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Emmanuel Asamoah, Dean of the IT and Communications Department. We would like to, on that note, we would like to take our vote of thanks. And to do the honors is Ms. Maud Ajele Eshon Elliott.
All right, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
We thank God for the opportunity for us to meet together online for this webinar. It was really insightful. We want to thank our chair, Dr. Francisca Pusiapia. We want to thank our discutants, Mr. Obey and Dr. Okoye, for the insightful presentations. We are grateful. We want to thank all those who joined online, and we pray that the next webinar would all be present. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Maud, for the closing remarks. So we quickly want to take our closing prayer from Dr. Frank Banasika.
Okay, so thank you for the opportunity. So let's bow down our heads in prayer. Father, Lord in heaven, we thank you for this moment. We thank you for the presenters. We thank you for the organizers of this program. We've begun this program with you, and we've ended it with you. It's been insightful because of your grace. We pray that this continues so that we'll be able to enrich ourselves with knowledge that will promote the growth of the university, knowledge that will promote the input that we make into our students to enable them learn and to become good citizens. Father, Lord, we are living here not into your sight. We pray that you continue to shower your blessings on everyone who attended this meeting. And you'll be with us until we meet the next time in the next webinar. All these and many things we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Dr. Frank. And thank you to all of you once again for participating in today's webinar. We hope that you've gained some insights and understanding of AI in the legal field. We look forward to seeing you soon in our upcoming webinars. Good evening and God bless you all. See you. Bye-bye.